Hello everybody, you are watching EPTCG Central, and in today's video guys, what I got for you, we are going to be taking a look at my first ever One Piece deck. Now, I want to just go ahead and point this out now. I am still fairly new to the game of One Piece, so be a little chill with me on this one because obviously, I'm not the most experienced at deck building yet. But the leader I decided to go with and focus on is going to be the blue-yellow Ace. I really like this card. For 2 Dawn, I can activate main, look at the top 5 cards of my deck, and choose up to 1 character card with a cost of 5, and put it on top of my life cards face up, and then I place the rest at the bottom, and then end of the turn, you trash all your face up life cards. So obviously the idea behind this deck is to use the baby Luffy and baby Ace to basically pop out 5 cost cards for cheap. And I don't run the Sabo in this. I do not have the money to do blue-yellow Luffy. So that is why we are not doing that deck. That is very expensive. But this is just the list that I have kind of been working on and decided to go with. I do have other decks, but they're pretty much just glorified starter decks with like a couple extra cards added into it. This is like the first one that I'm really like focusing on and like building, I guess, myself. Sorry, my cat's next to me and very happy, as you guys can hear. But yeah, you can make the argument this is pretty much the same thing. This is just an upgraded starter deck. So to start things off, I'm going to see if I can get these kind of put here. Oh god, oh god. But yeah, so this is just kind of the list that I'm working with right now. So we're going to start off with 4 copies of Luffy, the kid version of it. Basically how this card works is you can trash this character, reveal 1 card from the top of your life cards. If that card is a Monkey D. Luffy with a cost of 5, you may play that card. Then if you do, your leader pretty much gets 2k extra until the end of your opponent's next turn. So basically what we're trying to do is hunt for a Ace or a Luffy, which we do play 4 copies of the Kid Ace. Same thing, except you're just going to search Ace. But basically, you're trying to find your specific targets. So that is the idea. So you can put 1 on top of the life, you can trash Luffy, and then you just get to play down a Monkey D. Luffy or an Ace that's a little more expensive for pretty cheap. Along with that, we run 4 copies of this Monkey D. Luffy here. And there is the art if you need the white one's messing you up. This is from Structure 13. And then activate main. This character gains plus 2k and until the start of your next turn. And then if you have 1 or more life cards, draw 1 card and then trash 1 card from the top of your life. So like if you hit with Ace and you don't really have a way to play it out or something like that, you can still use this ability and then pretty much just get yourself an 8k body, which is nice. So we run 4 copies of that. And then we run 4 copies, as soon as I pick them up, of the OP09 Monkey D. Luffy. This is just in here because it's a 5 cost Luffy. I mean, it's decent. You can trash them if you have 2 or less life cards. You can KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less and then draw. So if you need to like get rid of something that's like a little problematic, you can do that. But for the most part, I prefer to see the other one. Now for the Ace, this is the really important one here. This one is amazing. So he is a 6k blocker to start off with, and then on play you can draw 2 cards and then place 2 cards from your hand on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So if your hand is clunked up with Aces and Luffys, I'm just going to go ahead and get him out. So yeah, if your hand's just clunked up with Aces and Luffys and you have the kid in hand, this is a good way to get those on top of your deck to guarantee yourself hitting that card so you can get it on there and play it. Next up, we have 4 copies of this Ace here. If you have 2 or less life cards, this character gains Rush. So basically, he is a 7k Rush that you can get out for pretty cheap and pretty quick in the game, which is nice. So that is going to be my Ace and Luffy. So here, after this is kind of where I'm sort of experimenting. So the numbers that I have in here, you might not agree with them. That is fine. That is just something I'm working on and tweaking right now. But we do have 4 copies. I don't know what my cat over there doing. We have 4 copies of Monkey D. Garp. Basically just get to reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. And then you can reveal a Sabo, Ace, or Monkey D. Luffy with a cost of 5 or less and put it in your hand. Then the rest go to the bottom. This card is good but scary at the same time. because if you hit a lot of your Ace or Luffy's with the 5 cost, or just even the kids in general, they go to the bottom, they go bye-bye. Next up, we have 4 copies of Kazuki. So this is a 2K blocker, which is really nice. For 2, you can add 1 card from top or bottom of your life to your hand, and then you can just add 1 card from your hand to the top of your life card. So this is another way to kind of guarantee that you're going to hit with your Ace ability, so that is really good there. I don't know what my cats are doing. I apologize. But this is just a really good way to kind of get stuff and manipulate the top of your deck, which is another reason why I run... Actually, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to do her first. Go to that in a second. This is the other 2K blocker I have in here. Pretty much she is a 1-drop that just allows me to add a card from the top and bottom of my life, and then I can draw a card. Primarily just use her as a blocker. Or not blocker, a 2K, excuse me. But getting back to manipulating hands, that is why I play 3 copies of this Namul? I don't know. But he is a blocker, and whenever you get to play him, it's pretty much the exact same thing as this Ace right here. You get to draw 2 cards and then place 2 cards from your hand on the top of your deck in any order or bottom. But this is just a really good way to get an extra body out for a block, or you can just manipulate your hand to guarantee yourself that Ace ability. And I'm still kind of up in the air on this next card, but it is a nice 2K blocker with a decent trigger, and that's going to be 3 copies of Satori. The trigger, when you get it from life, is you can play the card down. That is an option that I have done sometimes, but most of the time I just kind of hold on to him as a 2K counter. And then we have 2 copies of Charlotte Pudding. I really want to put another one in here because her ability is so awesome. Whenever you play her down, your opponent returns all cards into their hand, or into their deck, excuse me, and then they draw 5. So if they got a big whopping hand late game, this is a really good way, especially if you're about to start swinging with your attackers. You can deplete their hand, or they're forced to take life, which is really good. But just a nice little disruption card. So I was originally running the 3 brothers and this card, but I decided to cut the 3 brothers just because I wanted to. And I'll get to that here in a second. But we have 4 copies of Thank You for Loving Me. If your leader includes the Whitebeard Pirates, which Ace does, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card including Whitebeard Pirates or Monkey D. Luffy, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the top or bottom in any order. So again, this is just a good way to manipulate your deck and just kind of guarantee those hits or get yourself a useful card. Now, the reason why I cut the 3 brothers was because of the fact that I had terrible luck. I would do the top 5, and then I would watch as like 2 aces or something like that, or just really, really helpful cards that are in this side go to the bottom of my deck. So I decided, screw it. We're going to drop them, try some different stuff, and kind of see what we can get from there. Plus, the GARP is pretty much the same thing. Will I add it back into the future? Maybe. We'll just have to see. And then lastly, the last 3 cards here are kind of a work in progress, and then I need 2 copies of another one, so we're just going to pretend. But we have 1 copy of the card Blaze Slice. It is a main/counter. Up to 1 of your leader or character cards gain plus 1k during this turn. Excuse me. Then, if your opponent has 2 or less, 2 or less life cards, return up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. And then the trigger is going to be that I can rest one of my opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. I'm up in the air on this one. That is just a counter card I wanted to include and try out. I don't know if it's going to be permanent. And the last 2 should be 2 Gum Gum Red Rocks, but I only own 1 Gum Gum Red Rock. I'm going to be trying to get another one. So for now, we're running 1 Gum Gum Red Rock and 1 copy of Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, which will just let you put 2 characters with a cost of 6 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. The good thing about Gum Gum Red Rock is that it doesn't specify. You just get to return a character, which is really good. And then the trigger is pretty much the exact same thing, except it's a 4 instead of a 5. So yeah, that is the deck right there, guys. Still a work in progress. I am new at this still, so I don't really fully know if this is the right build. I'm just trying to make sure I can do what I can, play what I can, to up the consistency on, just kind of constantly hitting my Ace ability. Ace is, I don't know, this card was just cool. I really liked it, and I like the concept of it. Yeah, so that's just my current build for it. I might change it up a little bit. We don't know yet. I'm kind of wanting a 4th of her again, just to have another 2k counter. but that is just for a future video. But thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you have any suggestions, don't be toxic, please. Don't be toxic, please. Let me know down in the description below. This is just what I'm rocking right now. So thank you guys all so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and stay safe out there.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.